I feel like we're in like a L'Oreal hair commercial right now.
I guess because we're so pretty.
Hi. Hey guys, I'm here with Gabby!
Hi.
Gabby's been on the channel before. She has to be back because Gabby is a woman of a million stories, and if you haven't checked out her channel, you should. If you think that your roommate situation sucks or that your love life sucks,
It
talk
doesn't.
about that compared to what Gabby's been through. Which is why I thought Gabby would be perfect to help me offer some advice about roommates and relationships and just general real world issues that you guys have.
I think that's a funny theory. You're like, hey, you're always in really bad situations and clearly don't handle them well.
What have you
You
learned?
give some advice to everybody else.
I went on my Facebook page and asked you guys for your questions about relationships and roommates in the real world, and here's what we got. How to deal with a messy roommate. You consider yourself a messy roommate, or are you the clean one?
I would say that I'm a little bit of both. See, it's always just hard because it's always going to cause some type of conflict. I feel like every time you have a roommate, anytime you speak your mind about something, it's going to cause a weird like, oh, now I'm stepping on eggshells type thing. Yeah. I know people have like had color-coded dishes where like your dishes are red, mine are green. So if there's dishes left in the sink, you know whose dishes that is. Do you ever notice with roommates when you come home and there's a sink full of dishes?
Yeah.
Nobody left their dishes in the sink. Hey, like whose dishes are these? Every single person will tell you.
Not me.
What's weird because like I'm vegetarian and that's clearly me. There's just gonna be liars. So if you're gonna move in with someone, just assume that there's gonna be a mess around and that you're gonna clean up after them a lot. And that's how you deal with a messy roommate.
I think like a key to having roommates is having low expectations.
Yes, and
Really?
boyfriends.
Yeah, no, that might be true for life, just across the board.
Keep it low.
And then you'll always be pleasantly surprised.
And that's the answer to all the questions.
Now what do we do? Let's eat some baby food or something. What are some essentials to bring with you when you move into the dorm? Now, you went to college.
I did.
Did you live in a dorm scenario?
I did live in a dorm scenario.
I was always in a dorm scenario that had a bathroom in the actual my room. It wasn't like a shared bathroom down the hall.
That's so fortunate.
Did you have a shared
No,
bathroom?
I've had shared showers, yeah.
I think that might have been like 90% of the reason that I went to the college that I went to.
That's a real thing. I read this thing like the reason cost of tuition is so high now, and one of them is stuff like that. They stopped making them college housing and started making them 5-star hotels. Because now you have all these amenities and bathrooms in your units, and that's why college is so expensive.
What are some essentials that you would bring into a dorm? You would obviously need some sort of like shoes to wear into your bathroom scenario.
Pizza rolls.
Okay, we went in two very different directions.
I would say when it comes down to a dorm room, make it your own. I was like super broke through college, so I never got to like really decorate my place or spend a ton of money on like making it feel like home, because you're there for a year. If you have it, spend a little extra money, make it a little bit homey, make it a comfortable place where you're ready to go back, and besides that, make sure you have a microwave.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, a microwave can do so many things.
You can cook eggs in there, but it smells up the dorm. You'll lose friends.
Eggs is not a roommate-friendly food to make. I remember I lived with roommates in Brooklyn, and we decided we wanted to have an adult dinner party, like a dinner party. We're doing this, we're inviting all of our like comedy friends, like this is gonna be so fun, we're gonna be adults. Oh my god, we don't know how to make food, and my one roommate, Michelle, knew how to make eggs. And so we had a dinner party that was just like a trough of scrambled eggs, hummus and pita, and like just dips everywhere else.
That sounds like a good time though.
It was great. It smelled awful.
My friend in college, she was always like watching her weight. Well, we all kind of were trying.
Yeah.
But we would come home drunk. I was in college. Everybody would get pizza and all of these like foods on the street. There was like barbecue, and we would go home and my friends would make them scrambled eggs. Every single night we came home drunk. I would whip up eggs and we'd cook it and eat it with ketchup, and that was our drunk food.
My friend Andy and I lived together. We went out one night and walked back to our place, and it was like the first like week or two that we had been in our new place. And so it was like really early in the morning. The bodega, or like little convenience store below our apartment, was open, and we were starving. We went in. For some reason we decided to get cans of black beans. We were so excited that they had black beans. It was like the most edible thing in this store. We just started jumping up and down, hugging each other, going, beans! We went back to our apartment and opened them and ate them from the can with the fork.
That's a real weird thing to eat, Grace.
An awful thing to eat, because the next morning, not only was I hungover, I had the worst stomach ache. I don't know if you've ever eaten an entire can of black beans by yourself, but it does not digest well.
Doesn't sit well.
Okay.
What's the question?
Where to meet people. Everyone seems to be online or working 24/7 nowadays, including me, and I don't know how or where to find people except online.
I have no idea how to answer that question. If you can answer that for me, that'd be so good. I don't know how grown-ups make friends.
I think it's about like doing things, like going out of your house to either like
But I
classes.
hate talking to strangers.
We're getting involved in classes. Honestly, I met so many people when I first moved to New York because I did improv classes.
Dance classes. Like even if you're not a dancer, if you go take like a hip hop class. I was taking my friend Matt's math class a couple times, and I met so many friends there and just be like, hey, this is really cool, we should hang out.
See, you know exactly how to meet friends.
But we never hung out, so I don't really know.
I wrote an album about my cheating husband, but he's my producer. Was that a good idea? Or
What? Is that a real question? That is hysterical. Can we give this boy props?
Matt asked, was that a good idea or not? And I don't know if he's asking if having his husband as a producer is a good idea, marrying a cheater was a good idea, writing an album about his cheating husband who is his producer was a good idea.
I think it's hysterical. I think that is one of the funniest get backs I've ever heard in my entire life. Your ex is your music producer and you produced an album about him. Are you crazy? That's hilarious.
They say use your art to as therapy a lot of times. Art
Or therapy is also good therapy.
How do you tell your friends you'd rather stay home and stare at the ceiling than go out to the club? Like, do friends get upset when you don't want to go to the club with them?
I don't know, because I don't like going to the club either, and a lot of my friends do like clubbing, but I just straight up say, like, I'm not really a club person. I'm sort of introverted. That's not really my scene.
You'll have a worse time if I go with you. Because
Yes.
I'm not into it, and I'm going to be really annoying to be around.
Yeah. Or maybe go to the pregame and like
Yeah.
hang out with them at the pregame. I've done that so many times where my friends are going out to like karaoke or I love karaoke. If they're going to a club or something, I just like go hang out with them beforehand, and then when they leave, I'm like, peace.
The Irish goodbye, too.
That's a good one.
You wait with them at the club, and then as soon as they get in, just kind of
Ghost.
pleasantly duck out.
What's painful though is when nobody notices you're missing.
Yeah, that is a lot. What are the common signs that she's just not that into you? I think some obvious signs that a girl isn't into you if she doesn't respond to your communication.
Look how intently I'm listening, like, what is it? I've had a lot of situations where guys will text me so many times in a row, and they might be 20 minutes apart, they might be an hour apart, they might be 2 hours apart, but sometimes I'm like showering or at the gym or working on a video and I genuinely didn't look at my phone. So there's a difference between, is she not answering or is she like been avoiding my calls for a long time?
I also feel like there's something about if someone's not asking you questions, they're not into you. It's a sign that someone wants to continue the conversation. A lot of times to get someone talking to you, I always say like ask them questions, like start a conversation with a question.
Don't ever just say hi.
Right. And so if you're asking a guy a question.
If you look through my dating apps right now, all of my first messages are hi, hi, like me to them.
Really?
I'm like, hi, hi, hi.
Thank you, Gabby, for all of your wonderful advice.
Thank you for trusting me with that.
I hope that this made you guys different people than you were before the start of this video.
In a better way. I still don't know why you would take advice from somebody who does not have their life together at all.
This is part of your decor. Of course you have your life together.
True.
Make sure you guys go check out Gabby's channel if you haven't already. We shot a video that'll be up over there. Go subscribe to Gabby just in general because she's great people.
Thank you. When you said that, I was like, yeah. I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
nodded at the most
See?
inopportune time.
I'll see you guys next time. I don't know.
You know
What?
what would be amazing?
Huh.
What if everybody was just, this is a crazy idea.
Okay.
So like, I'm just gonna put this out in the universe, see what happens.
Okay.
What if everybody was just honest with each other?
People would be too vulnerable. They couldn't do it.
It would be beautiful. What if like when somebody was texting you, you could just be like, hey, I think you're really cool, but I'm not really interested in this. Or what if when somebody couldn't tell, they could just say, hey, I'm just wondering, are you interested? Like, that'd be so amazing.
Have you ever done that on a date? Have you gotten to a point where you're like, so what are we doing here?
I never usually get too far in dates enough to get to that point, honestly, because I don't like people that much.